Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are tackling some tie rod ends on this 2011 Jeep Compass, my wife's Jeep. I'm just basically working this video in with my brake job because I've got the wheel off and access to the lower control arm and the outer tie rod. So reason for changing this is when I accelerate, I get a little teeny bit of a pop in the front end. Something's kind of a bit loose. When I jack the tire up at the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, I give it a wiggle and I got lots of play. So I don't know if it's a tie rod end or a control arm bushing on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and change both. The kit that I have came with both, so it's getting new lower control arms and tie rod ends. So we'll get set up underneath here and I'll show you what you need. Alright, so yeah, the reason for changing this is once I've jacked the truck up or Jeep up and I got it here, I can move this whole ball joint on the bottom of this tie rod really easy. She's real sloppy, so they're coming out. Long short is we're going to need 18mm on the top. Now what I did before is the night before I went ahead, I sprayed my bolt here and I sprayed some threads through here, trying to get some liquid down through. This side I actually already took off to kind of start diagnosing it the other day. I took it off, and this side will be easy to come off, but I'll show you the technique to get this castle nut off. You're essentially going to need some vice grips because likely this whole bolt's going to start spinning on you and it's a pecker head. So if you get vice grips just on the very top of this, you can just get it up enough where you'll be able to take this this nut off. So what you need to get the nut off is you need a long socket 18mm. That should get you off. Like I said, I already had this side off, so I'm making it look easy, but I'm going to work this all the way off. Now like I said, basically it's going to end up getting to the point where you got to put the channel locks just on the tip of this and then take your 18-inch combo wrench and then just work it, okay? Next you're going to need hammer. Going to need a hammer and just give this light little tap. Pop when she comes. Now it's important that you're going to need an alignment after this. Highly recommended, right? Before you hammer that completely out of the knuckle, the ball joint, or the tie rod end rather, you're going to want to break the torque on this jam nut, okay? So I had a hell of a time with this one. I just sprayed the shit out of it. I sprayed it last night, sprayed it again this morning. I just had to take a torch to it. Keep it in here with the nut keep it inside of the knuckle. You're going to want to get down and just basically I had to hammer with a hammer with my 22mm. I was able to break this jam nut, okay? Now you don't want to work it off a bunch because you don't really want to mess your alignment up that much. But you want it free, right? So right there I got it free. Now what I'm gonna have to do is take these tie rods are splined here. It goes from a circular to a square. That means you can put a wrench on it, right? So that's a 13mm there. And now to get the actual tie rod, it's also splined right near the end. That's a 19. And you're going to want to try to break the torque on this, which I'm sure I'm going to have an issue with. Alright, well I managed to get the tie rod off. It was damn near impossible. My 13mm kept slipping on the spline on the actual tie rod, so I had to use a pair of vice grips, which kind of dickered it up a bit, but I needed to spray it down several times and use a torch. So don't be afraid to heat this up because that's the only way I could get it off. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure if you're supposed to use copper anti-seize on these or not. It's not like it's really mission critical, like you know what I mean? It's bolted in here and splined all the way through, so I think I'm going to just clean these up and put some copper anti-seize on for the future. Yeah, my tie rod ends came with a greasable fitting on the bottom, which is kind of cool. Now I did work my nut off about half a turn. So like I said, you are definitely going to want to go in for an alignment. I would recommend. Right there. I'm going to put this back in the knuckle. Now I want to get us a little love tap, but I don't want to damage nothing. Now, that should be 18 millimeter. Life's a yard sale right now. Yeah, so you should torque this castle nut here, 35 pounds. Still an 18-inch, or 18 millimeter long socket, okay? Alright, it comes with a cotter pin. Voila! Now all I gotta do is take my 22 and get this bolt back to here. Spinning, so I'll take a 13. This doesn't really fit on here no more because it's all warped, but alright, so I managed to get the tie rod end in, and I pumped her with some grease. You only need a couple of pumps, that's for sure. She's right full. Yeah, quite the pecker head. I pretty much stripped this tie rod completely, but hopefully next time I gotta change them, I'll change the whole thing. So I'm gonna head over to the other side and tackle the driver's side. Alright, got the tie rod ends complete. The one on the passenger side gave me a hell of a time. Literally the one on the driver's side, it must have been serviced not too long ago. It spun right off. I didn't even have to use a wrench. I just came right off. So, you know, if you're having a hard time, don't bother fighting with it. Just penetrate the shit out of it and put the fire to her. That's pretty well the only way to win that. Okay, that's it for these little guys. They're really very simple. Easy little fix if you're getting some knocking noise in the suspension. Like mine was like when I was at a stoplight, I would hit the accelerator and then I'd feel everything shift and it would just go plunk and take off, and it was getting worse over time. So hopefully this fixes the issue. If not, I think it might be the lower control arm joints there. So I'm going to be changing those as well. That'll be another video, okay? Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.